Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. And Justin, how you doing? Ralph, how you doing? So I went to. I just threw on this shirt. It's kind of a shitty shirt. Anyway, um, after the last live stream on the congestive heart failure, uh, I had my 3 month appointment with the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, that's bullshit." he he agreed with Google to a certain extent that in the old days that's the way it was, but with the new medications and stuff, they're like it's more on the basically as long as you want to, better you take care of yourself. So we went over a bunch of crap when I was in there. Blood work was all good. I didn't, I forgot to ask him, Aaron, what my red blood count was. He said that, but he said my potassium. It was funny because we were just talking about uh, how shitty tasting that crap was when I had to take it in the hospital when I was after the pneumonia. I'm a little bit. I feel okay, but I don't know. I'm sounding a little raspy. Anyway, but he said no, you don't need that. He said just so I'm going to eat some stuff that's doing that. I've been eating the way that I want to eat, that I think I should eat, and I feel good. I don't feel great, but I feel good. Hey Logan, Jamie, how you doing? Who else did I miss? Hey Daniel. Hey Paul, how you doing? So yeah, so I don't know. He thinks I'm going to be around for a while, but I went in. I was 119, and I feel even lighter now. It's been 2 days since then. Just from not, I can tell on my fat ass stomach. Um, but I don't have the scale out. I'm going to take the scale out, but I'm not going to do it once a day like I'm supposed to. The reason that he wanted me originally to do it once a day is if I gain, a pound and a half, a kilo overnight, that means that I'm retaining water. But he had said that he thought the water was good. He felt my legs and all that. There was a little bit of tiny bit of swelling in my ankles, but he said that's just swelling. So he said, no, your stuff is good. In fact, he was gonna originally, when I told him what was going on with the walking, being out of breath, and all that kind of crap. Um, he said, we'll up your fluorescimide, which is the water pill. And then by the time we got done talking back and forth, he said, no, just keep it the same. And I said, okay. So yeah, so for the most part of it, I got a couple of things that actually are Thailand related information for what I think is going to be happening very soon. The bank is effing with me big time. I told you the last time I went in, they wanted, oh, your SIM card isn't on file. I said, I've had the same SIM card. My wife works for the company. And I said, you're doing this just to screw with Farang? And they didn't answer me yes or no when I was in there. And then I've been hearing it on the internet and stuff, people saying, but this is the way I think it's going to go. So my phone rings day before yesterday or something. I answered. It's the bank. She can barely speak English. Is your wife there? No, she works for a living. And well, we want you to come into the bank. I go, why? Oh, we need documentation. On what? Oh, I don't speak English very well, blah blah. Anyway, I have my wife call them up. What they want is they want everything to show that I'm here in Thailand. That I'm a legitimate guy, not a scammer, not whatever. They're going to dig into everybody. I'm almost positive. And with the way that I think it's going to go, what they want to see is a bill in my name, which our TOT bill for internet is in my name, and my driver's license, if I have the driver's license, all that kind of stuff. What they're heading for, and I'd almost bet my life on it, like I like I said, what I thought they were going to do with ganja, which I think is headed in that same way too. They're going to want you to be on a yellow book. So if you're, I don't know if Kenny is, I'm sure he probably is. I just kind of ignored it. My wife always, oh, I want to put you on. I have an appointment. I don't want to be bothered. I don't care. Right. But I think they're going to want you to have a pink card, and they're going to want you to have a yellow book to have a bank account in Thailand. Now, this is my opinion on what I think is going to happen. But I think it's a 95% and above chance that that's what it's going to take. And if you do have a bank account and you don't have a yellow book, I might almost guarantee you that they're going to take or shut your bank account down, close your account, not steal your money, not try to take anything from you, but you cannot bank here anymore. Here's your whatever bot you have in there. We're closing the account. So mark my words and see if I'm correct or not. But I'm almost positive that's the way they're going. So I told my wife, make the appointment. We have 2 house books that I could get on, and let's do it now, so I'm not in a rush when they do bring it down. So yeah, I've had the same bank since I've been here. Bangkok Bank, never had a problem in the world with them, Paul. Never had a problem. And all I do now is when I went in the last time, I said, "Are you gonna screw with me once a month and have me come down here for?" Oh, no, no, no. We just want to make sure your SIM card. It's the same SIM card. I've been dealing with the same phone, same thing for the past 6 years, right, or whatever. And I said my wife works for the company, which kind of threw them off a little bit because I already had them fax the stuff over there. She faxed it over to them or sent it email, whatever. And they made Sim was there with me. I sat in the bank. She drove over to my wife's work. She printed it all up, gave it back to her. My wife ended up coming back with her so there wasn't going to be any more problems. Put it all out there, and here they are now. And I guarantee you the next one's going to be, Mr. Clark, we're just informing you that if you do not have a yellow book, we're going to close your account, and you can't have a Bangkok bank account without a yellow book. Maybe some of the other ones won't do it, but I'm positive it's going to be a norm now. If you come to Thailand, like they told me when I came to Thailand, oh, you can't get a bank account. You're just you're just visiting. Bullshit. I got it the next day. Now I couldn't get my second one. I wanted to get 2. They told me you can't have another one until you get a long-term visa. When I got my long-term visa, boom, 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 I got my second account. So just keep it in mind. If you're not on, I don't know, are you on the book, brother? I don't know if you are or not on your house. You probably are. You're probably smarter than me because I thought, oh, it's she wants me to be on it so I don't get screwed or feel good about building shit for her. And I said, anything I have is yours. I don't give a shit, right? But now it's coming to the point where, like I said, I think it's because of all the scammers, the scamming stuff that's going on, and with every little part and aspect, and a lot of it, I guess, is through the banks. So I think they're trying to put an end of it. Your BKK, yours, but do you have a yellow book or no? Hey, Craig. Hey, David. Good morning. Do you have a yellow book, Craig? I was just saying. They called me up on my little phone. When it rings, I figure it's Lasada telling me they're here to bring me something. But they want me to go down now. They had already called me in and saying my SIM card was. I said, no, I've had the same SIM card. So I went through that bullshit with them once a month and a half ago. And now they called just the other day and said, oh, we need documentation. Well, finally had my wife call back. They want a yellow book, or they want my license here, my driver's license, and something in my name, which my TOT, my internet is in my name. So I'm going this afternoon. I was supposed to go yesterday, and I said, I just don't want to go, man. Day before I went to the hospital and spent 5 hours there. Enough of sitting someplace. So anyway, negative, you don't have it. So I would think about putting it in place if I were you. Because like I said, I'm 95% positive on what I think, and it's only what I think, that they're going to want. If you don't have a yellow book and you have an account, you need to get one or they'll close your account. And this is all me, so don't get it mixed up. Hey, this guy on YouTube said that they're going to make this. This is what I think is going to happen. And if you want to open a bank account, it's going to be a no-brainer. Oh, you don't have a yellow book, you don't get a bank account. So if you don't have a yellow book, I'm talking about my friends here or anybody that watches this, I would highly suggest that you do. A lot of people do because they feel like they're part of Thailand or something. It doesn't really mean shit, except now it's going to mean you can have or can't have a bank account, and that's the way I believe. So, and I don't know if Craig, do you have a yellow book? But I'm going to get mine so I don't have to be bothered with it. It's the little things that bug me. The 90-day check-ins. Why? They know exactly where I'm at all times. When I leave here and I check into a hotel, it's the hotel's responsibility, mine ultimately, to let them know that I'm in that hotel. Okay, if the hotel doesn't do it, I'm in trouble. I don't ever do it. I don't ever look at it that way. If they don't do it and they want to, okay, come bust my stones. But they, they know right where I am. If I leave the country, they know I left the country. My passport, my visa, everything, they know where I am. So I don't understand the 90-day. And that was a big thing before COVID. That was the thing they were going to get rid of. That was in the mix. And then when COVID hit, that went out the window. Who cares about 90 days? We got a big problem here, blah, 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 which I understand. But I think they should get back to it. It's not needed. Uh, they know where every farang and everybody in their country is pretty much at all times. Yes, I need to get it though. Yeah, I had an account with BKK for 25 years. No yellow book, no pink card, just passport. Yeah, I went in when they told me 7 years ago. No, you're just you're just a tourist visa. You cannot get one. Walked into Bangkok Bank and said, "What do I need?" Well, let me see everything you got. Showed me a piece of paper, blacked out all the numbers on it with somebody else's. What it was a verification of where I was staying. It could be a hotel, it could be a house, it could be a girl's house, it could be a friend's house, it could be a hotel, it could be whatever. Take this, have the people at the hotel. I was there for 2 months. Fill it out or whatever they needed to do. I went to Patong and put it in there, and I got those. I needed three of them. One to buy a motorcycle, one to get a bank account, and I had one for something else. I can't remember what it was, but that was it. And now it's becoming. I know when I told, um, who did I tell? Anyway, I told people you come in and get it. And oh no, they want me to verify my passport in Bangkok at the embassy. I'm going, are you sure that's just not one? No, that was Bangkok Bank in Bangkok or whatever. And I'm going, that just don't sound right. Go to another bank. Went to a pink bank or something. Another one got a bank account. So I don't know exactly what they're doing. I know that they're screwing with Farangs, and for not just for the hell of it, because the sun came up this morning, because of this scamming shit and stuff that people are doing through banking and internet and Facebook and everything. They're involving the banks are getting a little bit of the brunt of it, and they don't want to be bothered either. Which I don't, like I said, I don't blame them. Let's see. Whenever I travel around, I just pop an immigration. And I've never done that. I never went to immigration and said, okay, I'm back on a T90 million form or something. Haven't done that either. So, but they do know where we're at. Let's see. Do you have to put money in a Thai bank? Why not keep it in your home country? I keep it in when my because I haven't told Social Security I want my check deposited to Bangkok Bank. Is there really a big problem with that? No, Craig has went into it. A bunch of people have went into it. The only problem with that is if you're like me and you got foggy brain and you forget that they sent me a form and I have to fill it out that says hello, my heart beat 90 million times in the last year and I'm still alive in Thailand. Social Security knows that. But if you don't fill that out, whack, they cut off your Social Security. Most people, it's not a big deal. You have backup money, you have this. But somebody that is like living check to check in the United States and living check to check from Social Security, and they get cut off by the time they rectify it and say hello, they miss, they get their money, but they miss 2 months. Well, that could really hurt. Some people could really be devastated by that. So I just haven't bothered with it. My money gets from Social Security to my American bank account, and I transfer it from there. It costs me a bot. If the going rate, like I think right now, is 32.2 or 3, I get 31.2 or 3. And I haven't really bothered with that. Maybe someday I will. Maybe that'll be a big, I could use that extra 43 bot, or whatever. But right now I don't want to be bothered. So I guess I'm a typical American. I just don't want to freaking be bothered. But hey, Lance, how you doing, Maui? Um, yeah, I don't feel any phobia. Yeah, I just haven't done it. I've never been. Every time I go in to get my visa redone or a 90-day, I'm waiting for them to go, hey, you left the country and you didn't come in here and kiss our ass and say hello and give us some apple pie. I've never had it happen. And like I said, and with Bangkok Bank, I've never had a problem. I've never had we lost your money. Well, we didn't get it, and from my bank from Chase in America to here. Been doing it for 6 years, and always I send it between 1 and 3 days. It's here in Thailand, and if it's over 5,000, it's zero. It costs me to do it. If you have a minimum amount and a certain status with Chase, it doesn't cost you anything. So, but I don't, and for a while, Logan, too, to get back. Hey, how you doing? You're doing good. Glad to hear it. Logan is when I first came here, I was a little bit leery on bringing over too much money or having anything here. Since I've been here, now I look back on the United States and go, do I really want to have my money in the United States? Although I think things are going well in the United States. That's again my personal opinion. A lot of people don't think that way. I do. Yeah, and I tried, and they just didn't like me, Greg. I gave them. I opened the account for like 200. I just found out it's still open. They sent me an email. They kept like, I think I only opened it for like $50 or $20 or whatever. Anyway, when I opened it, they opened it, and then I was getting ready to try to figure out how to transfer money through them, and they sent me a thing saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we now have reevaluated and declined your whatever." I said, "Okay, stick it. I don't give a shit," But yeah, but they said I guess they still got my $50 in their account. So, but Wise, I know, has changed their um, rates and stuff. I don't know what they've changed it to. Craig seems like he probably knows. But like I said, it costs me. I pay 1 baht less because I can go on at any time. My little gold thing that I got that my wife put on here that gives me the price of the bot and bought a gold one little application. If it says 32.2, I can go over to Chase, click on it, click on the rate that's available, and it's 31.2. It's almost like maybe even sometimes 3/4 of a bot. Depends on what's going on. I'd like to see it at 36 again, but when I came here, I think it was 29. So I'm not too worried about that. Sure, I mean money's money, so might as well look at my tattoos. See my nice tan line? I'm white as shit. I need to get out there. It's all those felonies. Yeah, no shit. Could be. Not felonies anymore. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just, for you guys here and the people that are friends of mine on YouTube and friends of mine here in Thailand, um, I don't know if it costs anything. I don't really know what it costs to get the yellow book and all that, but it can't be much, and it's definitely going to be worth it. Because like I said, I would almost guarantee that they're going to do that. They're going to first this is the way you guys can, like I said before, what I thought was going to happen with ganja. They were going to resend it. They were going to make it only medical, blah, 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 which is the way that I believe they're headed. But same thing with this. First ones that'll probably get hit is any new account. Any new account, you have to have a yellow book and blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to dig into all the people that have been doing business with them for 11, 7, 10, 25 years and say, you need to get a yellow book. If you don't get a yellow book, we'll give you 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to show it to us. If not, we're going to write you a check, give you your 100,000 baht you have with us, and part ways. And I really believe that's going to happen. So we'll see. I was here when it was 51. Yeah, man. Uh, I've heard, the stories of that swing. I thought that I guess the bot must be getting stronger because I just can't see is the dollar weakening? It seems like it stayed the same. Every time that I looked in the past 2-3 weeks, 32.2, 32.4, 32, within a point, a tenth of or whatever that is past the decimal point. Anyway, it's just been right there. 32.2, 32.3, 32.2, 32.3. So, if it hangs in that neighborhood, I've got nothing to complain about. But yeah, but this I would just tell you, I mean, if it doesn't cost anything, and if you can put all your ducks, I mean, like Aaron's not here in Thailand, but I would do whatever I could do through the family to get it started, so that when you do come here next time, you can bang bang and be done with it. People that are here, I would say do it. Gold is going up. I didn't. It was 32.31. Yeah, so the one I've got is called. Where is it at? My wife put it on my phone 3 years ago, maybe more. Um, called Gold Now, and it's saying gold. Well, this is per the bot, 52,600, and it's saying 32.28 and 32.30. Well, we at 3.1. So yeah, so this one is obviously close. But usually when gold goes up, the dollar drops, right? I mean, that's the norm that I've been kind of playing with for 90 years. I won't invest in stock market. I won't invest in anything. If it isn't a precious metal of some sort, and I'm going to say just the three, silver, gold, and platinum, I don't. That's why with the crypto and all that kind of crap, I'm just too old, and I don't need to, I don't need to, I need to not lose money, basically, or piss it away. And I'm fine. So it's stupid for me to go gambling. It's stupid for me to, and I consider the stock market a gamble. So is precious metals. I mean, the only thing is with real estate and with with gold and silver and with metals, they always go up. You might have to hold on to them longer, but they always go up. So it could be a scary ride, but the stock market, maybe I just don't know enough about it, because I got friends that have made a lot of money in the stock market in the last 30 years. So, wow, 3,446.50. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I remember just off the top of my head, if somebody had told me, I'd say, I don't know, what is it, 1,000, 1,200 bucks an ounce, if I didn't know what was going on. But it is expensive. I guess all the people that are out there digging it out of the ground are happy at those numbers. And, us living here, we don't really have any control, but would it be nice to have, because what do we have there? I think the highest I've seen since I've been here in 7 years is 36. Somebody can correct me, but 35.7, whatever, right around in there. And it made a substantial difference. Could bring it in I usually bring between 3 and 35 each month. It depends on how much crap I buy from Lasada that month. But, I don't know. Hey, Randy, there's the camper. If you guys don't follow Randy on Facebook, he bought a trailer and went on his first excursion to my favorite place in the whole world, the Rincon, which we used to go there and could run our generator all night, our little 1,000 water, which you can't hear running anyway because the waves are bashing right next to you. And it used to cost, I think, $5 or something a night, and you could only stay 13 nights or something. then people started, one friend would stay here, one would stay here, and then they'd switch. And then they go back. And they started doing something with that. And I don't know, Randy could probably tell us. I think it's like $30 a night, right? Or $50. It used to be like $5. And they took that away. But that was my favorite place where Randy got his cherry broken there in the camping world. But he's got a nice trailer. It's really nice. Been watching. Hey, Tommy. But Weiss is 32.31. And I'd have to look on Chase, but I would almost guarantee if the ones that we just looked at were 32.3, mine through Chase is 31.3 right now. It's almost always been a bot. Yeah, $50 a night. And it was like, we went there when it was during the shock and awe. So you guys can tell me what year that was. We had an old Class C at the time I picked up for almost nothing and fixed it up. It was just me and my wife. And we were in between motorhomes and trailers. And we went there and watched Bill O'Reilly give us the nightly crap from the Rincon, and watched it on a little TV that was running off of 12-volt deep cell batteries. How many years ago? 20? 30? I don't even know. Somebody could tell me when. Craig could probably add and subtract quick. But I can still remember sitting in the back of that Class C and with my wife and watching the bombs drop. But always loved it. Rincon was the best. And the way that I found out about the 1,000-watt Honda is I had a 34-foot what was it, Southwind with a big slide on it. It was a 2001, brand new. I bought it in 2001. And we were out there, and right behind us, this guy had to have just as much money in his little camper shell. The camper that he had on the back of his truck had 3 slide outs and all this shit on a camper. It was the most elaborate camper I'd ever seen in my life. Never did ask him how much, but I know it cost him a lot of money. And we were sitting there talking in between the two, where ours ended and his began, looking out at the ocean and talking. And I'm going, man, I'd like to run my generator, and I know I'm allowed to and stuff, but it's kind of loud. I don't want to. He goes, well, I got mine running right now. He goes, you can't hear it, can you? And I go, no, why? Where is it? He pointed right down at my feet, and there's a little 1,000-watt Honda running away, running all this, his TV, his lights, his water pumps, not his air conditioner, but didn't really need that at the Rincon. And went out and bought one when I got home, the very next day when I got home, and have had it ever since. Still had it in there. The kid blew it up, running it as a backup when power went out on some indoor lights that were going on. Tried to run it one just to keep the lights, the plants in on click with their 12 hours. So anyway, it burned up. I don't know what he did with it. Still got my 2000 sitting in at my nephew's or his house now up there. So, but I would suggest highly getting a little 1,000-watt or the 2000, because the 2000 will probably run your air conditioner. I don't know. Did they put a 24-volt air conditioner in there, or did they put a regular air conditioner in there? Because mine in my trailer is 24 volts, which is awesome for the 24-volt system that I have on solar. It's been raining here every day. Today it's overcast, but it shows raining. In fact, I can show you the guy hasn't been here. I'm going to try to get out on it today. Let me see here. Almost pressed the wrong thing again. Look at these. I'm going to try to make that full size. And look at the holes that he dug for the posts. They have been filled for 3 days now. Needless to say, he hasn't been out to the house. So I haven't went out, although it isn't really that that strong of a rain. It has been heavy at times. Yeah, this is the first time that we've had pretty much consistent drizzling all day. Usually during rainy season, we'll get a time where we'll get 4 or 5 days strung together, but usually it's raining at night. Maybe the first, right before the sun comes up, it might rain a little bit, and then, excuse me, the rest of the day it's fine. That's why I always say traveling. I've always, whether it be to Maui or to Hawaii or to any country, whatever was their low season, due to rain or whatever the case may be, I never let it bother me. I'd rather save $2,000 and stay where I wanted to stay and deal with a little bit of, because they had showers too. The one time I told you I didn't tell my wife that I had got a bagger for the week instead of a car. We dealt with a little bit. Well, it's 90 degrees. It's like here, 90 degrees. The sun's kind of in and out, and it's downpour for 10 minutes, and then the rest of the day is fine. Sun, middle of the night, rain for 4 or 5 hours. Does the same thing in Kochang. So I tell people, I'd rather, if I want to do gambling, I'll do gambling that way. So I hope to get out of it. I've been jonesing too. Most of my home there was paid in gold. Sold 18 ounce, one large portion of the building. Very cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that if I was going to gamble, I'd go belly up and go up to a hold'em table. I can play poker, and I like hold'em. But I think it was Brock or somebody, you guys were talking about gambling. And it's like, unless you can walk, my biggest thing when me and my wife would go on a cruise or whatever, I'd say, here, I've got like $800 that I could burn right now. So you take 400, I take 400. When that's gone, we're done gambling. And that's the way that I would gamble. First of all, I'm prone to I can get it back. And that's not the way to be. So I don't really gamble, but unless I can go into a place and say, I'm never going to get this back. I'm going to have some fun. When it's gone, and that's it. I won't gamble. I ain't going to do it. Yeah, exactly. And if you have fun doing it, I have fun. We had fun on the cruises, and sometimes we'd go on a 7-day cruise and we still had money at the 7-day mark. And sometimes we left with money, not very often, but we went on probably 8, 10 cruises down to Mexico. At the time, I was having problem with my passport, and the only place that I could go on a birth certificate was on a cruise ship. So I could get on a cruise ship with a birth certificate. I think they've kind of cut that out now since 9/11. Actually, they don't do it anymore. I don't think. Hey, Tip, how have you been? Hope you're well. But yeah, so just kind of keep it in your mind if you're here. And I don't know the deal it is. All I know is my wife had to make an appointment with the government to go down for me to get the yellow book. I know Chuck was in the middle of doing it. I don't know if he did it or not. I'll probably will ask him and let him give me the lowdown. He maybe even has a video on it that I just didn't see, although I watched most of his. Excuse me. Notice water, trying to stay away from even the Coke Zero. And I've been doing good. I feel better. I feel good. Your English language is bad today. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I spent a week in Vegas with a group fund. Made sure I left with one chip in my pocket. Yeah. Uh, I had a couple of. I haven't went into too much part of my life there. A couple of years in Vegas and friends and limousine businesses and stuff like that. We could talk about that one day. But anyway, I enjoyed Vegas. I had a good time. I just I was having a little bit too much fun, so we cut it out. I'll tell you, it's a long story, an interesting one, but a long one. Maybe I'll have to open up another channel. But yeah, so keep it in mind. Like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's making an appointment, going there, showing them paperwork that we're married. Maybe that's what else he said too. They wanted to see a marriage. If we had a marriage license, my driving license, um, something in my name, the TOT, the internet bill. What else? I don't know. Pain in the ass. And I'm gonna tell him I'm not gonna go crazy or anything, but I'm gonna say, I've been here 7 years, man. I have I given you a reason to think, something. What did I do? I'll probably just keep my mouth shut. My wife will be there. How's the sound? Okay. Where's Logan? Did he already leave, or is he watching soccer? Oh no, it's not soccer day. Is it soccer day tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know the soccer deal. But yeah. So, and I don't know why. I got to see on this thing too. It says that my camera on the garage was failed to load, and it says offline. Huh? I don't know why it's offline. I'll put the fish back up. That's kind of a soothing look. Maybe I'll make them bigger. But anyway, yeah, I'll make you guys torture you and make you watch. Look at me a little bit closer. Let's see what. Yeah, I'm good on. Not my favorite place to go anymore. Last time was 2019. Took the wife. Yeah, it's something to go visit. It's different for me because the stories I have and stuff like that. I grew up with Italian guys in Los Angeles and stuff, and some of the stories I have are very interesting that I'll share with people in person uh, if they come around. Probably not on the internet. Maybe he's good. Soccer in 1 hour. Okay, good. I picked a good time because it's been 37 minutes. I'll probably go another 30 minutes um, just for the heck of it. Hope you guys are well too. Um, you and Jamie. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. If you guys are here, I would definitely go and get the yellow book. You can use your real ID to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. Must connect through Hawaii. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, because it's the United States, right? That's why. Let me bring that back up. Because the Virgin Islands are the U.S., Puerto Rico is, Guam, Virgin Islands, and through Hawaii is all U.S. I know you were talking about that too. In order to, if you guys haven't watched, Uncle Craig did a video on this. I know Joe kind of started it out and gift. He thought that he could get Social Security for gift and hope he get his when he passed Survivor and this and that. To my knowledge, I thought it was 10 years. It's my understanding now. I think it's 5 years that you have to be out of the country or whatever. Craig did a video on it in case you want to watch it. My understanding was, and what I was telling people is that what I was told was you needed to live in the United States, which the U.S. Virgin Islands, Hawaii, whatever, you can find tropical places to live. But I think it's 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Go watch Craig's video on that if you're interested in. And it's because, like I said, Joe, I think in his mind is thinking like I've been thinking for years and years is I want to make sure my wife is taken care of after I'm dead and gone. And mine is in one of my retirements. I could take that $300-400 a month or $500 a month hit that I take less, so that she can have double her income well after I pass. And we already set it up. I set it up with them. I made sure they got all the paperwork and they have everything, the union there. So because I don't want any problems. The worst thing, the woman I guess loves me. I look and I go, oh, the woman's blind, the poor woman. But you know, uh, she really does it. She's going to be devastated as anyone would. Uh, and I don't want her to have to drum through hoops and stuff to get money to live because because I didn't do my due diligence while I was still alive. So we set it all up with them. She has all the paperwork, the day I croak, what to do. And even before the body's cold, do this shit first, make the phone call, get all this stuff taken care of. Yeah, 5 years, and it doesn't have to be consecutive. I didn't know that either. But see, originally I thought it was 10. Did they change it? And it was Social Security that told me 10 on the phone. So it wasn't like I was just guessing. But 5 sounds better, and not consecutively, which I would have thought that it would have been. But so if you want to do that, and it does make sense. I mean, if you're like Joe, I mean, he's traveling, he loves to go places, go visit all these other places over the next, 5-6 years, and it could be done. But I think the only thing that I didn't read that. Sorry, Aaron. It was different for me before I was married. The mini family was an interesting group. Yeah, I bet. But yeah, I mean, I think that the only thing she's going to get is survivor benefit. The little one-time $136 deal. But I told her, get everything you can, whatever they'll give you, freaking get it. Like I said, man, what would be ideal is, we'll get a big ass chest freezer out here and just roll my fat ass in there so I don't stink, and just keep collecting those Social Security checks, which I guess it would be against the law. I'm just kidding, in case somebody's watching this. But yeah, they are. Yeah, I took care of my buddy's air conditioning business when he went to Sicily for 2 or 3 weeks vacation 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know, but he had some interesting stories. I guess he told me like all the land there and all the mansions and all the old time mobsters and stuff. Um, the places are empty and vacant. You know, the people that he was visiting, they were there, but a lot of it was vacant. And some of the pictures and stuff he sent back in the water and stuff, it was gorgeous. My mom got to go there. She wanted me to go. I should have went a lot of places with my mom. We have a lot of family throughout Italy and Australia, stuff like that. She got to do a lot of that uh, before she got a little bit on the sick side. Hey Andy, how you doing? Sorry, got an eye itch, a nose itch, and still got a little bit of raspy voice, right? Am I talking too much? Uh, but then I cut back to 1 cup of coffee, um, no sugar. I did make a smoothie with a teaspoon of honey. There was sugar and a little bit of stuff in the orange juice that I used, but verbatim, give a little, take a little type thing. It was a small one, wasn't very big, and I enjoyed it. And it'll be part of a not an everyday deal, but maybe a couple times a week or something, little special deal. Tilapia. I went back to a lot of the recipes that I used to make all the time. It's Thai chili, um, uh, garlic, onions, mushrooms, tomatoes, sauteed in tomatoes later on, right before we put the tilapia in, um, and a little bit of olive oil, and just to get it up. And then I put the tilapia in, I hit it with maybe a quarter cup of water, and put a cup and steam it, a top on it, steam it. That's what I had last night. I bought 2 kilos of almonds. I'll take a handful and put those in and eat them throughout the day as a little snack or something when I get hungry. And avocado I bought. The Thai avocados, they look great and everything, but man, they take forever to ripen. And I tried a couple of the bag that don't work on the Thai shit for some reason. But that, and then I made refried beans. I bought pinto beans, um, 1 pound packages, 4 of them. 1 pound will probably last me a week or maybe more. And what I'll do is on the whole wheat tortilla, I cooked up some chicken with spices, Thai chili, onion, garlic, and um, cumin, and put it all in there, and then made a Tupperware deal that'll probably get 6 or 7 of those a week out of that, and then I'll just put a tablespoon of the beans. The things are good with the beans. I use a little bit of the garlic seasoning that Aaron got for me, stuff I've been using for years and years and years. It's got a little bit of salt in it. It's not a garlic salt, but it's got a little bit, but not enough for me to worry about. I have to meet a minimum. My doctor doesn't want me to be zero salt free by any means. But I put that in there. Don't put regular salt, pepper. Like I said, Thai chili, make it a little bit spicy, stuff like that. It's delicious. And make the refried beans, cook them for 2 hours, and with a couple of onions in there, some Thai chilies, everything. I put part of it in the blender, mash up part of it so that I like it more on the smooth side, and put it on there. But it's pretty cool, and it's like if I wanted to go in and make lunch when I get done with this, under 10 minutes, and I'm done with lunch, and it doesn't take much to cook. Got 4 or 5 other recipes that I'm putting together now that I used to use in the old days. So we'll see. But a lot of it chicken and fish. I told him I looked at it, and are my days gone of big ass thick steak? Never. But it's probably going to be maybe once a month or something when I travel somewhere. I'm not even going to take the red meat from a Thai cow or anything. I want a good steak, and probably be every couple of months. And I might go to the burger place once a month, stuff like that. Like I said, I know what I need to do, and do I need to completely be rigid and exactly? Oh my God, I had a grain of sugar touched my tongue now, but I know what I need to do. I buy already cut avocado slices at the market because they let you. Oh, really? I don't. We don't have them here. You know, here in Isan, uh, it's kind of tough to get them. And most of the time they're expensive, but I do enjoy it, and they are good for you in moderation. So are almonds. So are a lot of things that are high in calories, but they're good for you and everything else. Salmon, I'll get some salmon. I got a dish with salmon dish. Probably 2 or 3 chicken dishes that I have, and then that'll probably be enough. That'll be enough variety that I won't get tired of any one thing. I can turn back the clock up and have kids. If you can, why? You can still have kids, can't you? You want kids? Holy crap. Man, no way for me. I have a steak blend, and they're freaking perfect. Works on everything. Just his salmon for the wife. Going to bring it with me. Cool. Yeah, yeah. I'm up for any new. Like I said, when I don't ever use salt when I'm eating. Especially when I'm cooking for myself, I'll cook for myself. I'll use the bare minimum or none, and I'll make up the difference in the seasonings with garlic and whatever else I want to. I use a lot of Italian herbs and stuff like that, and I like cilantro, stuff like that. I like my Mexican food. I can make a bunch of Mexican food. These burritos that I make and the chicken ones, although I make pork ones and two or whatever, but trying to stay away from that. Just chicken. They're delicious, man. I would put it up against anybody sitting down and take a bite of it, and tell me it's not good. Uh, I pride myself on my cooking abilities, and I enjoy doing it too, and for people. But there's a lot of stuff that I do. But I just need to stay away from the sugar. I showed the doctor my watch, and he kind of dug it. And I told him, I said, I don't go off of any of these numbers, but you can see that this glucose has got a spike up. You can't see it. Maybe you can. There's a line at like 80, 85, and now it's spiked up. And let's see what it shows. Probably going to show 118. or so, 132, and that'll probably be the max. And I had cornflakes today with blueberries and non-fat milk, a little bit of milk, yeah, just to change it up. Yesterday, I had two scrambled eggs with mushrooms, onions, and Thai chili, and a little cup of maybe a quarter of a cup of the refried beans, and that was it. And for lunch, I had one piece of a whole grain bread with turkey tenders that I cooked up on there with lettuce and tomato and whatever. That was my lunch, and a handful of almonds. And for dinner, I had tilapia. So it's easy. I like the portioning and be able to put away, like in the freezer now. I bought 2 kilos of the chicken tenders. I cooked up a bunch of them and made enough of the Mexican style chicken for the burritos or whatever. I bought tostada. I'm going to take that same whole wheat tortilla, lightly brush it with oil, and in a pan make it crispy like a tostada. I did it the other day. What I'm getting now is I just ordered stuff to make my own. I like Taco Bell uh, mild salsa, and there's a couple of copycat deals on the internet that I looked at. So I got ordered some onion powder, some um, white vinegar, some tomato paste. I have Tabasco. What else was there in there? Onion powder, cayenne, and chili powder. And they say it's like almost identical. And I put that across. I even bought a little hunk of cheddar cheese. I probably used like on the one that I made the other day. I just wanted to taste. It would have tasted a lot better with a taco sauce on it. The problem with I looked at the Taco Bell sauce. You can't get it here. They want $1 million for the shit, and I mean literally. And it's not worth it for that. And some of the other stuff, just to get a taco sauce, some of the stuff I haven't looked at it close enough. I'll go on there and blow up the ingredients and their nutrition deal, looking at sodium and sugar, and a lot of them they don't put them on there. They're made in China or Thailand or whatever, so it's hard to find. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to try this because this is good. I can control everything that goes in it, and if I like it, I got it. And one of them was more than enough. I didn't even eat the whole one tortilla. Tortillas aren't big; they're like this 9 inch or something. And I like that. I like Mexican food. Hey, Justin, Dave, what breed? Well, I think it was it was that little body deal I saw on Facebook, and I wanted to get something that would do my steps and this and that and the other thing. And I said they wanted 8,000 baht for the thing or something. I said I'm going to go in and just look and see. I can get you the exact one. I gave it to Andrew. He might have his watch now. He ordered it. He liked it when we went out to lunch to Flunky Burgers or whatever it was. And and I told my doctor, I said, like right now, okay, when I went in there, the thing was 10 points off. So what it showed here on my blood pressure on the high side, the low side was almost exact. And let me just pull it up right now. I go here. Let's go to blood pressure. It says keep still, so I'm going to keep still. And I told him the consistency was to look at. It's like 116, 117 over 84, 85, 90, 87, 118, 119, right in there, right? And I said, that's what I'm looking for. If I see any kind of high spikes, like I said, I know the blood sugar thing's working because I just ate and I could watch the thing spike up, you know, and it's within the realm and it's coming back down. But let's see what this is. 118 over 85. So it's about 8 or 9, like 127, 128, which is good for me. And I haven't even taken my medicine. I better do that. I didn't take my morning medicine. You can see there's the morning pills that I take. Now the afternoon pill is only one, and the nighttime pill is three. Now some of these are vitamins, and this particular one has an extra. This is that vitamin D omega pill that I've been taking over 10 years. My doctor gave it to me in California, saying I needed to be out in the sun to produce some kind of freaking something or other. So I take this once a week, every Sunday. Excuse me. But for the blood pressure, I just use it to, if I see something spiking, I don't really look at the numbers. I'm not like, because the thing that they say about these watches is they're not a medical device and blah blah blah, and I understand that, but it does a bunch of other things. Like I told you, the what is it, the one EKG, no, not EKG, but PPG and ECG, and blood glucose, blood pressure, blood oxygen 98, blood composition. This is the one I think that had the uric acid and cholesterol, and he said he's going to he's a great guy. Um, he said he's going to the next blood test that I do in 3 months, because I asked him, did you do a full panel on me as far as um, cholesterol and all that kind of crap? And he said no. So when I left, he said he would. He said he would when I come in next time, he'll do the full panel. But the one that, let's see, where is it at? Here? It's blood components is what it's called on here. It says keep still is why I'm being still. Okay. 4.9 uric acid, 169.60, which I think is okay on total cholesterol. It's showing in the red. 147, I think, is a little high on the triglycerides, or not, a little low. I think that's the good stuff, right? And then it's got a high density lipoprotein. I looked at it, and a low density, and I looked those up and found the word and did it, but now I forgot what the hell they meant. But it gives you a lot of information, and for 1,400 baht, it counts my steps, and I'm trying to get to where I'm actually. You did 10 steps today. Good for you. To where I'm doing. I'm shooting for 2,000 when I'm just around the house, and hopefully when I get out, I can put it up here and it'll tell me how many I did compared to what I wanted to do and all that shit. Hey brother, how you doing, Ron? Hey Cobus, how are you? Who did I miss? Anybody? Let's see. I checked mine. What is this? Aaron's Scotch. We still haven't really sat down and drank a Scotch. I will do that. Hey HK, how are you? Hope you're well. What was this? Craig said I checked mine the other day at the hospital, and the machine 237. What? Different machine. It was 130. And that's what I said too. I don't really trust their machines either. I could have waited and said the nurse, no, I don't want the machine, and they will take it, the old-fashioned way. But I think this thing is close. I think that all the stuff that I get there is high. I have the one here, and I should do that. I could do that. I got to go buy 4 AAA batteries. I've got this one here, the normal one that I think most people get. This one. Where are you? But I got to get some batteries for it, and I can verify that. I have to see what I need to get, but I have this one for sugar. But I need to get some more of these. Well, maybe I got a couple in there. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have my wife test it against against what this thing is saying. Um, so just to see if it, what's happening with it. But like I said, if I miss something, guys, put it back, put it back in. I think I'm behind on stuff. Everybody's saying hi to HK. Please take care. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying, HK. Uh, I don't know. I'm guessing yes, Tommy. I'm hoping. Poor dinner. She don't. I still haven't done a video on her, man. You guys would dig it, man. She is such a trooper. And I mean, if you saw her 3 years ago, she couldn't even lift her head up. They were feeding her with an eyedropper, and and now she can walk and bark and run. And the running ain't so great, but she's amazing. I got to do that video. Hey, I just did my own a few weeks ago after bending and sitting 125 proof of smooth melted barley. It'll lower your blood pressure. A good scotch. Haven't aged it yet, but looking at putting it in the French. Yeah, I was looking back in the day. Uh, you could get oak barrels, and I was thinking about doing that. I wanted to do wine for the longest time because I had a big wine cooler at my house. My wife wasn't really into it, but I was into cigars. I had a big humidor and a big wine cooler, and I really liked, cut up cheddar cheese and a nice glass of wine, and the best thing about her is she loved the smell of cigar smoke. Her only one other woman in my life uh, like smoked cigars with me, the other woman, and she was married to uh, highfalutin executive from NBC, CBS. I don't know. She would. We'll do that one day too. She was a trip, man. Anyway, my wife in my living room, she'd be sitting there, blow in my face, blow in my face, and I'd blow a big, But I didn't like to stink up the house. I'd usually go outside unless the weather. It was nice when the weather was crap, snowing and shit. I could sit in there and I wouldn't have to listen to someone bitch at me. But I used to enjoy it. I used to enjoy a cigar, enjoy a couple of glasses of wine, and it was like a good sharp cheddar cheese just would set off Merlot. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Leave it at that. I'm not a connoisseur by any means, but I did enjoy it. Who was that? Cobus? Did I miss you? All right, take it easy. These guys sell the Taco Bell mild sauce in the bottle. Which guys? Who sell it? Who sells it? Craig? What did I miss? I had a mini stroke in 15, blood pressure. Yeah, that's not good, Randy. That's not a good. That's not good numbers. You need to watch. Yeah, Scotch and bourbon. Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't drink, too much at the time. I had already went through the phase of intoxication, and I could sit down and if I got really started on Scotch, man, I think I would have a hard time to stop. I loved getting hammered up, but I just wasn't a good person. But I could sit down and drink 2, 3 glasses of wine and it wouldn't even, just barely phase me. So I could enjoy an hour and a half, 2 hours of relaxation and a good cigar, and I really, I do miss that. I will say that. He put the link in the chat. Yeah, I can't get it. Oh, there it is. There, I have to. I have to go on to. It won't let me. It won't let me click on it on StreamYard. So because I don't want to. I really do love it, and the stuff is like it's so low in calories. It's like 0 calories. The sodium and stuff like that are way down 1%. So it's fairly decent stuff. Let me go to what am I looking at? I need to go to YouTube. Let me turn the volume down. Let me go to me. Where am I? Come on. Do this on my phone. Other live. How far back? You just put it up, right? Yeah. Okay. And how much for 4 bottles? What do they charge, Craig? 2,000 baht. So that's like $7 a bottle. But I mean, if I'm jonesing after it, I will save it. I did find those. I thought that was outrageous, and I'm gonna try making this stuff. You make it with paste. The stuff that I'm gonna make a quart of it with. That it's supposed to be a little bit of cornstarch, and the stuff is maybe 20 baht worth of stuff. So I'll do it. Do you like Taco Bell sauce? If it turns out good, anybody that likes Taco Bell sauce, I will let you guys know how it turns out. Should have the stuff tomorrow, Monday, maybe. No, we're just talking about. Did you get your watch? We were talking about the watch. Let's see. Please take it. Yeah, I know. I was too. I was talking about death in my last one. Me. Uh, let's see. But no, I'm not going to. I'm going to be here for a while. Um, what is Kenny? What did I miss? Kenny, I'll bring some. What is good bourbon? Yeah, Aaron will set you up. That's for sure. Ah, okay. I dig mine. I got to charge it today. Like I said, it goes about a week, man. Which, like I said, I have everything turned on. If you turn off all the stuff, it'll probably go a month. I just want everything on. It's amazing the readouts and everything that you could get on here. Still shows he wants me to. I don't know if he'll set it up. He wants me to. I'm supposed to be on a CPAP, machine. I have like the most severe. I should be in a book somewhere on on what is it called? Now my mind's gone. Anyway, I have apnea big time, and and that stuff you could die. I mean, they don't know why. You just go to sleep and you don't wake up. But the bigger I am, the worse it is. So that's why I'm trying to get down. I told him, I said I want to shoot for 10 kilos in 3 months. So I was 119. So 109 is what I'm shooting for when I come back. I said, he goes, well, you don't Google everything. I said, I haven't in a long time. I just started thinking about it, and I looked at it and heard a couple of things, and somebody saying 50% of the people die before 5 years. And he said that back in the day, man. He's a younger guy, and he said no. He said they're more accurate on, but with the new medications and all this stuff, 20 years is not out of the question. In 20 years, if I could live 69, 79, 89, I think that's when my mom started really losing it, about 88, 89. And if I can live and don't need my diaper changed and aren't a complete burden on the people here, I'll hang because my wife wants me to. She deserves to get what she should. 121. That was great. 121 is too spicy for me. I'm a taco. 80, 90 for. I just dig, man. And it used to be in the States, you could go into a Taco Bell and you order one taco and take home 3 bags of Taco Bell sauce back in the day. Like I said, man, I was on the road. Man, if I went in, if I had the 20 cents or 15 cents or whatever it was to buy a taco, I would go in there and I would leave on my bike. I would leave with 2 bags full of sauce. Now you're talking about I could go into a 7-Eleven anywhere around, okay, buy a package of tortillas for 15 cents and a can of beans, refried beans for 15 cents, and I had the sauce, plus they have all the condiments there. So I could completely stuff myself for 10 cents, 5 cents, because I could eat, 3 or 4 times off of a can of beans. So you had to be creative back in the day. But boy, when I could score a Taco Bell run, man, I had Taco Bell sauce for a long time. I was in heaven. I knew I'd never starve. And it was only for about a year and a half of my life, maybe even less. Um, but it was um, it was a good experience. Nothing bad about it. You know. Throw an ice cube in it. Yeah, that's the way. I like drinking my scotch over ice with a twist in it, just a little hint, and just sip it. And it's fine with me as it gets into the melting process as it goes down, because I would drink too much scotch. When we had the bar, I was drinking a 750 a night. That's not good, man. And I was going in there 4 nights a week, and I could walk out. That's how my body had come accustomed to regulate my alcohol, which came in handy down the road when you're getting checked and stuff. The places that, if you're riding motorcycles, uh, you know, one of the checks is, let's get him drunk and see if he's got a runny mouth. And boy, it took a lot of liquor. They were amazed. Uh, anyway, um, yeah, I think here though even in the States, Ron, I think within the last even 10 years or so, I think they used to leave them out, right? They'd have those stainless steel restaurant containers out in a station out in the middle of the restaurant, just loaded stuff full of mild, hot, whatever. Back in the day, it was just mild and hot. I think they didn't have that extra fire and all that other bullshit. And man, I would just one taco. I can't even remember how much they were. This was probably in late 70s, maybe 76, something like that. And yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think it's gone. You have to ask, and then it's like pulling teeth. And I was such a fanatic on Jack in the Box. I think I told you guys this story. When I found out, I forget how I found out. I think I went into a Jack in the Box and they said we don't have secret sauce. I went off the deep end, right? I did very rarely used my computer, and I found out how to text and email and all, send them all. How dare you? That's what made Jack in the Box was the secret sauce. And what do you think? You're a highfalutin freaking restaurant? You're killing people out here. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure it wasn't just me. All of a sudden, they came out with the packets. Then after the packets were out for a while, they got the tubs back behind the kitchen back again, so you could have them loaded up and say, "Give me." But you used to have to beg for them. Can you give me 5? Oh, charge me for them. I don't give a rat's ass. Just I want them. But I think that's the way it became with Taco Bell. But man, they were probably losing big time with the people that I knew anyway that were going in there and getting them. Don't judge, Dave. What did I do? uh, Thank you, brother. I like when people stick up. Um, but yeah, but you never. I think it was almost impossible. That's why when I see people, do I have a place in my heart for homeless people that are disabled, something the matter with them mentally, blah blah. Yes, big time. Do I have a problem in my heart that they just don't freaking want to work? No, I got a big problem with that. And because like right now, even at 69 years old, if you were to dump me back in the United States with $100 in my pocket and a couple of changes of clothes, I would have a place to stay, a vehicle, and be working within a month. Uh, no doubt in my mind, whether it's if I was delivering newspapers or rake and do whatever I needed to do. And people out there, when you've got a government, that you hold your hand out and they slap thousands of dollars and food stamps and everything else in there, why would you? Why would you work if you're a lazy bastard? And I'm a lazy bastard, but I still wouldn't. So I took food stamps once when I was starving with my cousin when we went up to Tahoe thinking we were going to take our four-wheel drives at 18 years old and pull people out and clean their driveways and make money through the winter up in Tahoe. That didn't work out. And we were starving. Our mothers even sent care packages with, with Kraft macaroni and cheese and shit in there. And somebody told us at a party we were at, we went to the party and got right to the keg and started drinking. And we started talking about, man, we're starving. And well, go get some food stamps. What the hell's food stamps? You just go in there, tell them you're blah, 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 and they'll give you emergency food stamps. And you can go down to the grocery market and you can buy shit. And I said, no freaking way. Well, we're out of here. We went down there and I was never so depressed. Well, I was happy and depressed at the same time. Went in there, we bought steaks and all this kind of stuff. I went up there and I said, give me a pack of Marlboro Reds and here's a bottle of whiskey. And well, you're going to have to pay for those. Why? I got the stamp things here. Oh, no, you can't use those for that. Oh, no. So we were happy, though. We got to eat. We ended up leaving like 2 weeks later, came back and decided we're going to have to get real jobs and shit. Sent me a message on Instagram about Taco Bell sauce. Okay. Yeah, I've got everything on order to make the copycat one. If it tastes even close to it, believe it or not, Taco Bell, one of my favorite deals was the old plain tostadas. They were almost nothing back in the day, 10 cents, 12 cents or something. And they had that on there, and the cheese was the most expensive thing, so that was lightly spread unless you knew the girls that were working there, and then you get a little heavier on it. That piled on with 2 or 3 packets of so much mild sauce that it was dripping off the sides, and it was awesome. I dug it with the beans. It was good. I once sold food stamps to my hood for some paper. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did that. Um, it was interesting. It was interesting. Tahoe was a fun part of my life. I want to say it was probably about 3 months, maybe a little over 3 months. I'll have to ask Rich. He'll probably remember. His brain works better than mine. In fact, I got to talk to him anyway. I haven't talked to him in at least well over a month. Let's see. Thought he was back in the village here. I had to carry him home and put him in bed. His daughter pissed at me. I'm missing all the good stuff. You guys are letting me ramble. But yeah, so I don't know. It was easy that the Taco Bell sauce. If you go on YouTube and put in, homemade Taco Bell sauce, it'll come up with these. A couple of them they say copycats, and they just take a 6-ounce can of paste, 3 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, like a tablespoon of chili powder, and uh, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, and what else was there? Whatever the thing was, that's pretty much as simple as it was. Cook it up, boil it down, make a little slurry of a teaspoon of cornstarch with a teaspoon of cold water. Put that in there, cook it for a minute or two, and let it cool. And they said it's the shit. So we'll see. Because I mean, what could that cost? Everything that I bought cost like $10. So and that made a quart or so, maybe even more. How many's 3 cups? I don't know a quart deal. Sneak him a bottle. what am I missing? Uh, but yeah, so that's the gist of it. So I'll keep you guys advised on my. It's been an hour and 20 minutes already, but that's okay. There's 16 of you here. I can bullshit for a little while longer. Let me get a drink of water. Uh, the tostada is one. The burrito is another one. The chicken sandwich is one. Cornflakes for a breakfast. Scrambled eggs with mushrooms and Thai chili and onion, and maybe some sliced tomatoes for a breakfast. She wanted to make me some rice soup. I think I'm going to stay away from the white rice and the spaghetti. Now I do want to make some sauce, freeze that, and then I get some. There was one that I really liked. I should have kept track of it. It was a spinach, I think, but for Jones and for pasta, it did the trick. Let's see. That's what's right saying. I'm tired of healthy looking young men out there in corners, their cardboard sign begging for money, especially after seeing an elderly lady push carts around Thailand selling their wares. Yeah, you know, there was one right by my house, Tampa and Roscoe, right? Whole time I was growing up, old bum, used to come around and blah, 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 on the corner begging for dimes, nickels, penny. Come to find out years later, he owned a house around the corner from us, had a car, had everything. But that's what he did. And that was his living. Was panhandling. Is that what they call it? Panhandling. Andrew, yes, you are invited to the next guy's hangout. I don't know the best way to contact you. Yeah, I still got to come. I'm hoping, again, I'm shooting for February. Traveling, man, I just don't dig on traveling too much, but I got a couple of things that I really should take care of in the States, need my attention. And I want to see a couple of friends and family, and my kids, of course. So hopefully, if I do, I gotta stop over and see Randy. And let's see. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, Andrew doesn't live far from me, so no, Randy does. Still popular. Yeah, I bet. And what was I looking at? What was the name of shoot? It was on YouTube. They had a video. I forget the name of them. Let's see if I can find them on here. They're pretty big. They were just started out kind of uh, when when I started doing video, but they got a couple 100,000 uh, people. I wanted to see. They put something out, and two passports, one dream, and it said they're in New York, and it was the we never been. So they went to that big famous place where you could get giant pastrami sandwiches and a bagel place and a pizza place and then they went to one and the one bagel place had a regular sized New York bagel, bigger on the bigger side with lox in it and cream cheese. $19, she said. I went, holy crap. So, and I didn't even, they might have said how much the pastrami was, but I'm sure it was, way out there too. And they went to some coffee shops and stuff. They're pretty good. If you get a chance, it'll, being here in Thailand, I don't see that kind of crap. Like, I don't even know what it is to walk into a McDonald's. I bitch about when I look at it here. I'm going, shit, that's like $5 they want for that meal. And they said in the States, it's 9, so So I don't know how much stuff is anymore. I know the alcohol went crazy years ago. My friend that passed away that I didn't find out for like 4 years, um, he was a full blown alcoholic, and he used to tell me when he did go out, he would just stay home and buy the half gallons of tequila from Costco and do shots until he passed out, and next day would work, and then come 5 o'clock, shot until he passed out, and he would drink scotch. He would change every 3, 4, 5 months when he got tired of vodka, scotch, and tequila. He would do, throughout the year. But he would say, when I went there, I said, well, why don't we go out and have a drink? He goes, no, screw that. I said, why? He goes, well, what are we going to drink, Dave? I said, I don't know, maybe even a Cadillac margarita, $15. I said, no way. Yeah, $15 or $18 or something. I mean, you got to be shitting me. How much is of this? How much is of that? I went, holy shit! If you went out and had 2 or 3 drinks, it cost you $50. If you had a handful of peanuts. So it's insane. So I'm glad I don't drink, and I'm glad that at least I don't go out to drink. But even buying the alcohol, I don't buy the alcohol either. But my glasses are driving me nuts. There we go. But yeah, I mean it's insane. But because I don't know how much is I don't even know what a Big Mac meal is here in Thailand, but I want to say it's like um, I don't know. Somebody could tell me, but I know it was still way more expensive in the States. See, this one very popular in El Paso. Peg says, I'm going to China. See, that's one place that I've got absolutely no inclination to go to. And it's because of the way that I was treated when I would when I would get to go through Beijing or whatever, and I'd have a 4 or 5 hour layover, going to the States back in the day when I first got here. And the people just looked at me like I was some kind of a creature. And I think if they could have got close enough to spit on me, they would have spit on me. And I don't know, and I'm horrible. I'll probably lose subscribers. I hate to, you know, what does it say? Profile? Anybody? Every plane that I've been on, I used to they used to try to run over me. It's time to get off the plane, man. They don't give a shit what's in front of them, and it just so happens 99% of the Asian people that were trying to run over me were Chinese, and inside there too. And they just dirty looks, and maybe I just look like maybe I look like someone that harmed them when they were children. I don't have a clue, but not that I don't. I don't have a clue. The only closest thing to a Chinese person that I've actually met would probably be Mafia, and I only met her a couple of times, and she's a dynamite lady. So they're all, they have good and bad everywhere, but for the most part, it seems like they're just the ones that I have run into on planes, heavy tourist areas and stuff like that. Like when we went with the kids, we went to the fish market, and they would come in groves and just try to push right past you. And my daughters were like totally amazed when I stuck my arm out and said, "Excuse me, get out of my way and don't run me over." And they thought I was, a little bit on the. They laughed, of course, but they just don't care. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining shit, but that's what my experience would be. I would never hold anything against any kind of race for sure. Yeah, for sure. In fact, I'm going to go once a month to the burger place. That's what I've allotted myself on my new life. Yeah, yeah. Did you see the one that I'm talking about, Logan? From today. It was early this morning. Just one Big Mac, 601. Wow. I remember when you used to be able to, what I used to like was Subway when they had the $5 subs. I guess those are a thing of the past too. But $6 for a Big Mac. I want to say here, yeah, probably about the same, right? No, that's a Big Mac meal. Is like uh 350 or 400 baht. That would still be $9, $12. Maybe it is as much. Hey, Gino, I was just thinking about you, how you were doing. Caesar celebrated 6 months. Bear was here. He's been coming out. He didn't want anything to do with me for the last 6 weeks. The girls have been in heat, and he hasn't had time in the morning to come visit me out here. But now in the last 2 weeks, he's here at 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. He's sitting at my door scratching. Okay, I'll come and play now. There's no women for me to jump. Hope you're well. Hope your eye's doing well. If you're still here, you might have already left. Direct flight, 3 hours. New China. Maybe I'll go and check it out. Like I said, man, I just got a bad taste in my mouth. I'll probably have a bunch of people pissed off at me. Can't have a bunch of people. I don't have that many. I don't have that many subscribers. I know that I've lost 4 in the last week or so. I had no issue through Shanghai. In fact, quite helpful. Really, I'm going to check it out. Uncle Craig is here too, so you haven't plugged yourself. Yeah, Craig's here. Ron's back. Who's going? Who's going, Craig? Some traditional pies. Quarter pound, 109.89 baht for a quarter pound. So that's under $6, right? $5 and something. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, Caesar is up with. I see you on Facebook, and I see you're usually writing something about you guys have already been out and back from the beach, and now it's time for a morning nap, which is awesome. And he's such a good dog. I knew he was going to be a good dog. That's why I picked him. Bear's just kind of a pain in the ass, and I didn't spend enough time with him. And if I spent probably time with him like you guys did, he'd be a better dog. But I knew when Caesar was a puppy that he had some of the girls in him, enough of the girls in him to make him have the potential to be not only a good dog but a great dog. And I think he is on the way. Never going to be 100%, but no more pain. Well, as long as the pain's gone and you can live with it, that's a bummer, man. You know, I don't know. That's why I'm not screwing around anymore. When I went for the congestive heart failure, I don't know if you saw the last live stream. I was talking about dying and shit. And I'm just not screwing around anymore. If I feel bad or I think something wrong, I'm going to the doctor. It doesn't cost me anything anyway. And I think to myself, why am I being stubborn? I'm being stubborn because I've been stubborn my whole life. Well, it's time to change. So I'll have to do that. I'm not going to take a chance on it anymore. Very smart, cute, coachable, and trainable. Yeah, he's going to be yeah, and see, Bear won't even go in the water. Now all the puppies, okay, we took all the puppies to the pool and we made them all go from one side of the pool and swim all the way to the other side to us and then turn around and swim back and then get out. And we used to do that. Now we did it probably 4 or 5 times and it made a difference. Bear, my wife tried to throw him in the pool one time. And after that, he doesn't want anything to do with the water. I'm going to start using the pool for exercise purposes and I might try to get him to come in, but he doesn't want anything to do with water. Caesar, I see when you get him out there, that's the way labs are supposed to be. I'll be cooking up some burgers soon enough. My wife wants to make. So who's all going to this? What's in China? Enlighten me. Wagyu meatloaf. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Of course, I've given up the red meat, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. I look at it. I'm 69 years old. And I've said this before, I got to eat every bit of crap my whole life, whether it be Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Wendy's, Noggles, any kind of fast food and everything my whole life. And I'm still alive. And, if I've got to do this to hang out for 10, 15 years, I'm going to do it because my wife No, because I want to too, but my wife wants me to hang around. Yeah, definitely. My left knee has been freaking sucks. Oh, I love Jack in the Crack. I grew up on Tampa and Roscoe. There was a Jack in the Box, a 24-hour Jack in the Box on that corner. And I was so bad when I was younger, I used to get in a lot of trouble, believe it or not. And a few times I would wake up in the morning in my mom's house with at 17 or something, with half-eaten Jack in the Box food on my chest and in my hair, and sad part, I don't remember stopping at Jack in the Box. I was always on my bike, and that was another not a good thing. A lot of things that enlightened me later on in my life to make me a better person. One of them was this woman. Where are you? That woman there, and the woman that I have now, just made me understand that I was a prick, and I needed to change, which I did. Yeah, and what really surprised me, the last time I went was almost 2 years ago from when my mom passed. And I stayed with my cousin. I didn't want to go out and visit anybody because I figured it was, I wanted to mourn my mom. I went to the services. I stayed with my cousin Rich, that was it, and his girlfriend. And we stayed between his house in Temecula and her house right outside the San Fernando Valley. And right up the street from her house was a frickin' Jack in the Box. And I drove by it 30 times while I was there, and I didn't stop, and I kicked myself in the ass for not stopping. That's my, if I had all the places to eat, from Ruth Chris to big steaks and expensive meals, give me a couple of hamburgers with extra secret sauce, two tacos, curly fries, and a root beer, and I'd be floating off into heaven. Now, my wife and her biggest thing was a double bacon cheeseburger. That was her favorite. But I just wanted those little, I think they were 39 cents, or I know two tacos were 69 cents. Then they went up to 99 cents with the mystery meat. Everybody always said it was horse meat. I said, I don't care. I, I want those because I could get two hamburgers with just, I wouldn't let them give them to me until when you put a hamburger in your hand, it felt like you had a half a pound of a burger in there. And I had two of those, two tacos, the curly fries, and a root beer. And I think the whole thing was, what was it, 69 cents for the tacos. I believe 59 or 49. It was another buck for the 50 cents a piece for the hamburgers. I want to say it was under $2, a buck 75 or something like that. And boy, man, my belly would be out to here. And I'd be, yeah. Now it's time to take a nap or go to sleep. Horrible. Victoria Avenue in Ventura. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the one that where she was Newberry Park. That's where my cousin's girlfriend lives. Out that way, Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park, out that way. And she went off and went down a street. I can't even remember what the name of the street was that I got off on. Great, great lady. I appreciate her letting me crash on her couch. We spent 2 or 3 days there, and then we'd go back to my cousin's house in Temecula and spend 3 or 4 days there and came back. I was there for like 2 weeks. I was ready to come home after 3 days. And like I said, I just didn't feel right. I went out and met one of my good friends who passed away, his wife and her brother, for Mexican food one night when I was there. The rest of the time I just spent with my cousin and mourned my mom. Let's see. You lived in Westlake Village, yeah. That's where my buddy Louie lived for. And I think his sister still lives there in Westlake Village. He was there for 20 years, I think. Now he's in Phoenix. He's got an awesome pad in Phoenix. Reuben Pizzas. My favorite sandwich of choice, not the pastrami, is a corned beef and Swiss cheese on rye with regular yellow, no fancy Bouillon, whatever, yellow mustard, another thing that I would go for. Haven't had one in a long time. I did order some corned beef, and I've had a sandwich. I was at, I mean, which rental house we were at. Been a couple 3 years. Obviously, we've been here for 3 years. Had to be 4 years, 5 years ago. And I bought some rye bread and some Swiss cheese, and immersed myself in a couple of corned beef sandwiches, and they were very good. And they're melted, not just cold, hot. What did I miss here? This is in China. Is that what that is? I'll have to look that up. I'll try to. Are you mine? Yeah, he was, I think. He's been in Hawaii and every place else. A lot of great, yeah, man. I had a lot of fun because I worked for, um, shit. How come my mind's gone? Uh, I'll have to come back to that point because it was a small franchise. It was on Ventura Boulevard. There was one in Thousand Oaks. Gosh, see, this is what scares me about my mind. That's why I still haven't tried that blue stuff because I'm trying to get everything together on this. But I'm going to give it another couple of weeks, get everything stabilized on what I'm eating. But I worked at a place there that used to had three or four. I had one in Studio City, one in on Ventura by when I worked at. That was the one where I don't know, like the Jackson Five used to come in after they had a recording studio in their house south of the boulevard, and they used to come in there and after closing, not to tell it's a dirt nasty story about what I did to them poor guys, but yeah, I'll have to tell you sometime. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Dang it. Yeah, the hat. Yeah, for sure. Simi. They're excited. I lived in Simi. Well, how long we were there? 5, 6 years. Me and my wife that passed. But yeah, they did. They probably had one of the best. Yeah, I know. I do. I just like I said when I was freaking out a little bit about the congestive heart failure and all that kind of shit. I I kind of said I need to get something straight for before I start adding stuff to me. Um, God, I wish I could remember the name of that restaurant. Big name restaurant as far as in that area. They had 4 or 5 stores. They had a bakery in the front, and then a short order, a restaurant uh, style type stuff. Uh, that's what I got by my first bike, and I was underage too, working there. And I said, as soon as I get I was trying to buy my first Harley. I was 16, and I wasn't supposed to be working. I was working the night shift, and well, up until I think I got out of there at 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And a buddy of mine had a Sportster, and I was putting the money together to buy him. I was riding a 305 Dream back then. If you guys know what that is, Honda Dream 305. And the guy came in there. We want to make you a manager. You learn, and oh, looks like someone's feeding the fish. My wife. Um, uh, we want to make you a manager, and you have to learn the bakery and this and how to close, how to open. And I said, man, you're barking up the wrong tree. And he said, why? I said, man, I'm not here for a long time, man. I'm here for a short time and out. And he said, why? I said, as soon as I get enough money to pay this guy for this motorcycle, I'm out of here, man. And ended up doing it. God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Uh, but anyway, the I worked there and got it. And I only had the Sportster for about till I was 17, I think, right before 17, and got my panhead, and then had my panhead for a while. Wish I still had it. 62. The boss is calling. All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. It is. It's awesome. I'm going to be heading out there in a minute. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I'm probably going to end this here pretty shortly. Dupars. Yeah, you got it, man. Dupars. And I worked at a couple of the ones filling in for some people, but mainly was the one up on Ventura Boulevard, not the one. There was one down in Studio City and one, or was that considered Studio City where it was? Might have been. I don't remember now. It's so bad. But yeah. I had a lot of people come in there. I did a lot of work for air conditioning work for a lot of the movie industry and stuff like that. People that live south of the boulevard up there, and Barry White being one of them. I did his heating and air conditioning. But Jackson 5, man, I if you're ever around and you want me to tell you a story, Randy, remind me of that, and I'll when we're face to face, I'll tell you the story. All right, well, there's 15 of you guys here. You're diehards. You guys are awesome, by the way. Again, to remind everybody, in case you didn't hear, did Gino? Are you still here? Or did you leave? Gino, you probably left. Anyway, Ron, I think you were here when I said it. I've got to go after this. I've got to go to the bank again, and this is my and only my opinion. They want me to show them documentation, a driver's license, a marriage deal, a TOT bill showing I paid for the internet, and blah 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 to verify some crap for them. The way that I think it's going is they're going to want everybody to be on a yellow book to have a bank account. Now, this is only my opinion and the way that I think it's going to go, but I'm about 95% sure it's going to go that way. I'd be really surprised if it didn't. And the way it's going to go down is you're not going to be able to get a bank account unless you have a yellow book. And you're not going to be able to eventually keep your bank account unless you are on a yellow book. So I told my wife, go ahead and set it up. She had set it up before and I didn't care, I didn't give a shit. And now I don't want any problems. I don't want to bullshit around. I want to go ahead and get it, be done with it. So when they ask it, go in there and give it to them, because I'm dreading even going over there. I don't even want to go and sit in the bank. Last time, a month and a half ago, they made me sit there for 2 hours almost, an hour and a half, because my wife had to bring paperwork showing my SIM card. My SIM card hasn't changed. Oh, well, it says that it has. I said, well, you kind of made a little mistake this time because you called in a Farang that is married to someone that works for the company. So she's going to tell you exactly when I got it and exactly how long I've had it. And I've had it as long as I've had my bank account. Oh, well, I said, you're just picking on Farangs, right? And then they walk away. They never answer me. So anyway, I'm going to try to keep my cool, go in there, let my wife do the wrapping. I'm just going to sit there like an old lump on a log and be done with it. All right. Let's see. All right, everybody. A cult we did work place. Some of us that I was telling everyone about them for the past 2 years. As a church, really. Yeah, I got to. I'm trying to learn. All right, thanks, Randy. All right, everyone. I'll play the outro again, and I'll make the fish bigger so you don't have to look at me. And well, actually, you're going to see the countdown, right? Maybe you have to look at all of me. And you guys are great. People that have subscribed, it's been up and down. Probably be down now. But hey, you can't take a joke. You don't want to be here, that's for sure. All right, everyone. Logan, Jamie, have a good one. Hope everybody's well. And I'm going to play. Where am I going to play? I'm going to play the outro. All right, here we go. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll catch you on the next one.